Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the FIFA Flow Podcast. Welcome to episode 54 of the podcast, guys. Today we got a more football transfer and just football news to talk about today. Gonna be similar to the last podcast. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to go check it out. Where we talked about transfer rumors and we analyzed and we gave a review on each rumor for both clubs, like the club the player is leaving, club the player is joining, and also for the player themselves. We also talked about, like, of course, like every episode of PSG's mindset with Luis as the manager, and we're gonna talk about that today. With more PSG news, we talked about the new Prem midfield, and I kind of want to elaborate on that as well. And we talked a bit about the new offside rule as well in the last video, but not gonna talk about that today. Today we got a lot of transfer news to talk about. We're gonna analyze, give my thoughts and review on them overall. And also I want to talk about money as well today, like how the world of football, the economically, how football is because of how expensive the market has been getting here. So we're gonna talk about that inflation. We're gonna talk about all that, how that's being affected on football and how it's really ruining football. You can see as well. So yeah, we're gonna talk about all of that. Let's get right into it. Starting off, actually, yeah, let's just go tab by tab. Honestly, why not? There's not really an order, nothing really common between tabs. So let's just go one by one, and then of course, as per usual, end it off with my negative ball knowledge. So let's start it off. Enrique is making Harry Kane his priority for the number 9 position at Paris Saint-Germain. Kane is open to interest of the Spanish coach, and discussions have already started between Paris Saint-Germain and Tottenham. Fabian Ruiz. So I think, as a PSG fan, of course, I have to give my honest opinion about this and give my analysis and review on this. And I think this is great. Of course, Luis Enrique being Barcelona's manager, former manager back in the 2015 prime Barca era, and of course, filled with players like Neymar and like Luis Suarez and like Messi. So I think what we're seeing here is he wants to build a team very similar to the prime Barcelona back in 20, like he managed at his days during Barcelona, like in 2015. Neymar on the left, the playmaker, the magician, the killer. And then back in the day at Barcelona, he had a Luis Suarez, a prime for goal scoring, and in this scenario, he wants Harry Kane, that Luis Suarez of his, and then essentially, I don't know, Mbappe on the right side, you can say, or maybe not essentially a classic Barcelona 4-4-3, but with a new formation like a 4-1-2-1-2. Neymar at cam, and then Kane as your right striker and Mbappe as your left striker, like both two strikers. I think could also work out. So you can definitely tell that um with the arrival of Luis at Paris Saint Germain, transfer targets that PSG are going for are players who can play that pass and go, fast build up, like a style kind of similar to Barcelona. That is the way Luis plays. And as I mentioned, I won't be surprised one bit if a huge transformation, a huge change the way Paris Saint Germain play in the next season, or the next is here, but for the next two, I won't be surprised if we in the way we play more fast build up, because under Galtier, man, we played so slow. We just kept on going back. We were just waiting. I think that's too slow. You have to play, like, I don't hate playing possession based football, which Paris Saint Germain do, but the way we play too slow, man. I think it's sometimes way too slow. We didn't risk it enough. And the thing about football, I mean, like, take an example like Pep Guardiola. Yes, they play a passing game. So yes, sometimes it does get boring because all they do is they pass, wait that opening, and then go in. But at the same time, you have to take a look at Barcelona and you have to just risk it. You have to have players who are willing to fight for the ball, who are willing to go up the pitch, and when we lose position, when we lose possession of the ball, who are willing to fight, come back, put their life on the line to get the ball to win. We need those types of players. So I think PSG have to play develop them better, have the composure, have the mentality, have the chemistry, have the tactical efficiency. Like like the that's why we bring in Luis Enrique to bring that kind of Barcelona tactics to have the all of that team. That's what a good team. So yeah, I won't be surprised. I think it's a great deal for Kane as well to hopefully. Yes, it's the so nothing big, but at least it's a trophy. It's better than zero. It's better than the Audi Cup, bro. It's better than the. So that is my honest opinion on Harry Kane, guys. Let's go on to the next tab. Paris Saint-Germain are willing to pay Ousmane Dembele Guzman always in. Guzman Dembele 50 release clause at Barcelona. A big admirer of the player. I mean, no doubt. I think any player from Barcelona, Luis, as they have yet again the Barcelona mentality, the Barcelona play style adapted in well. And look, I think Dembele is a player. Yes, he's injured, but when he's not injured, he's a player who the Barca system well. And of course, as I said, with the way that Luis Enrique wants to play from his Barcelona, wants to bring that type of play style to Paris Saint Germain. And Dembele, if he's not injured, he fits the play style perfectly. Going down the wing, whether it's dribbling, box, passing it, running down the wing because he's very, very fast, and then cutting aside, hitting those outside, hitting those finesse shots into the box, crossing it into the box. He's a great player. That French spirit, as I mentioned in many episodes, PSG have one main French starter for a French club. Our only French starter, freaking Kylian Mbappe, and he wants to leave as well. So if Mbappe leaves as well, we're gonna have no French players in our starting 11. We're gonna have Brick Ekitike, man, and Warren Zaire-Emery. I love them both. The Warren Zaire-Emery especially. He's a great young youth player. Who hopefully we can adapt and develop him more to be a legend of the club, a starter, someone who can bring something to the club, bring some bring some good gameplay to the club. Um, but Ekatike, man, that guy's a brick. But either way, what my point is, we only have two French young players. We're gonna have no French starters for a French club. Doesn't make sense. So a deal for Ousmane Dembele. Yes, he gets injured a lot. I'd still take him any day of the week, any hour of the day, any second of the hour. I'll take him. I'll take him for no doubt. Yeah, this one I want to talk about. This slide here I want to talk about last. More PSG news here regarding with Barcelona yet again. Neymar Jr. wants to return to FC Barcelona. He is ready to lower his salary to come back and is not giving up on his dream to become a cool yet again. Neymar has wanted to return to FC Barcelona ever since he left the club, but for the first time, something is different. Paris Saint-Germain have told him to leave and find a new club. Despite Xavi's words, Neymar does not give up on his dream to return to Barcelona. I think this is a great deal. And yet again, the Barcelona system with having that playmaker, that magician on the wings, like in like to give that ball into. Then you have a lethal goal-scoring number 9 striker, and in Barca's case, Neymar on the left, Dembele on the right, and then have Lewandowski up top. So you compare it to the old Barcelona, that scenario, Messi was your playmaker, Neymar was like a magician type player, and then Suarez was your goal scoring finisher. In this case, in the new era, this moment, in this current moment, it'd be Neymar would be that playmaker instead because they don't have anyone else to represent a Messi type playmaker. Dembele, Ferran Torres, or what else would they have? I guess Dembele, Ferran Torres would be like that, and then again that the goal scoring finisher. I think if we let go of Mbappe, we have to keep Neymar, man. Otherwise, we are screwed, bro. We have literally no one else. But at the same time, I wouldn't be against letting go of Neymar because that brings that allows us to go for other players What am I trying? That allows us to go for other players who are cheap and also like really good. I mean PSG, we've already have had a pretty deep transfer market. As I said, I like the way we're moving, going for young players who hope to develop, make them even better. But at the same time, that's not enough. We need to bring more strong, uh, winning mentality, ball winning, play for the badge type players. I think so far we only have one really, which, in my opinion, um, Milan Skriniar. I wouldn't say Pavard. I wouldn't say Lucas. Or not. But did we get No, we didn't get Pavard. I wouldn't say Lucas Hernandez is the best player. I mean he's good, but I'd say so far the only good signing is Milan Skriniar. Other than that, we're getting young players, young talented players who we hope to develop in the future. But we need more players who have that winning mentality, like a Bernardo Silva. And we're gonna see more players. I'll talk about later in the podcast, as you can see. House. So there, and you can see there's so many good deals on the market right now that we should be going for instead. So we'll talk about that later. So I won't be against selling Neymar. I would rather keep him, but I won't be like, oh, are you joking? Like bad management, because I understand like, oh, there's other players on the market who are more worth for value for sure. And also for our financial fair play, we need to sell Neymar. Like we sell Neymar for 80 million, say, or like for 50 million, get three. There's like 20 million, 20 million, 10 million there. One player in the other high tier or high class, world class player instead. So yeah, I won't be against any, I won't be against him staying. Like I'd love for him to stay, but I won't be against him. Well, yeah, over here, Al Hilal already are readying a 70 million euro offer to Manchester City for Bernardo Silva, according to CBS Sports. The reports state that Saudi outfit will represent a 50 million euro a year contract to the Portuguese. Al Nasser, Paris Saint Germain, and Barcelona remain interested in Bernardo Silva. So great deal. I mean, just won the Champions League. The key there for that Manchester a week out. He plays every single week, and he's a very, very important player, especially in the Nations man. There, here of Fernandes, the other Portuguese league. I no hate to Bruno Fernandes. I really respect Bruno Fernandes. I think overhated player in the footballing sport, but personally, I would take Bernardo Silva over Bruno Fernandes if one of them was Paris Saint Germain. Winning mentality, of course. He just won the Champions League, and I think he really fits the way that that Barcelona that Luis like to play pass and go style as well. With the winning mentality, he played under Pep, so surely he knows how to play the Barcelona system. Because Pep, wherever he goes, he plays the Barcelona. So, yeah, Bruno Fernandes is not gonna be cheap, but would I like see if we can sell Mbappe? Like I would like to keep Mbappe, but as a PSG fan, I think for his Mbappe's career, better for him to, and even for PSG, Mbappe man, you should really understand, man, like this, like I would really like Mbappe to stay, but at the same time, like to find a replacement. On top of that, I also wouldn't mind Mbappe. I would want Mbappe to leave. Like it's really a 50 because two sides to Mbappe right now is he is and he offers so much to the club. He's a legend of the club, our best player in the history of the club. A player like Mbappe, otherwise we're back. Gonna need a replacement. But at the same time, if he does leave, one, it's better for his, and two, it brings in a huge chunk of money to the club, so that we can get players. Yet again, Mbappe is a 250 million worth player. That 250 million worth player get 50 million or like 80 million. That Bernardo Silva, we're still gonna have another good minus 80. That's 170 million their money left and on other players. That is so much. So, as I said, I'd rather sell Mbappe than keep Mbappe. My honest, as a PSG fan, Mbappe offers so much to the club, our best player in the history. But with the way that we stand, bro, we always sit here and we're out. We say, oh, we're gonna win Champions League, bro. With this, with what I've seen last season with the it and with the players that we have, we're signing youth players. We have a good starting bench, but when we're injured, half the season had our main players injured. Had literal brick academy players on our bench. Take a look at Madrid's team, Barcelona's team, and City, and they have your main starting bench, and you have Mahrez. You have Mahrez. You had Mahrez. You have Kyle Walker. On the bench, you take a look at Madrid. You have Ruger. Now on top of that, you're gonna have Arda Güler, man. Even the better. Yes, he's a youth player, but he brick academy player. He's a You're gonna have or Brahim. Yes, like they're gonna have a much better. Yes, they're gonna have youth players, but that's Madrid, bro. They train their youth players to become like pro players, like starting players on the first day, man. So like I don't know, man. You take a look at our bench, we have little bricks, man. Players like we need someone like you have two center mids, have a third and a fourth center option on the bench. Have a third and fourth good world class starting center mids on the bench. Have rotation players, and the way Man City played. I talked about last week, talking about the Guardiola, like how is he gonna Man City. And now that I think about it, I've kind of revisited my opinion of that. And to be fair, it is. I think Guardiola fits that team perfectly because the way Man City, the way they play a 3-back, they're gonna more defenders. Players like Pep Guardiola likes to have on a lot of players who are good at passing, on the ball, good defensively. As on the ball, good in that passing system that Man City play, and at the same time, Pep Guardiola always wants to keep the Man City active. They don't want to have the players tired. He likes to have rotation. So now that I but that I think Guardiola is good because Man City always have rotational players. That's what PSG needs. Well, we need rotational players. We can't have a good world class starting 11, and then all of a sudden, if two of our players are injured, we're gonna have brick academy players on the start. Can't have that happening. Take a look this season. A lot of the time, put Ekatike and Warren Zaire-Emery were starting because we have like a lot of injured players. Verratti in last 2 months of Neymar injured for like the whole end of this. Like, can't have starting a good starting team. Bricks as our substitute replacement. So that is my opinion on Mbappe. Like, yes, he offers so much, but we need to spend money to get like players like 200 players. Split that, like sell him and then split that into 5, 6, 7 world class players like Bernardo Silva, Sadio Mane. We're gonna talk about that later. So that is my opinion there. But yeah, Bernardo Silva, great player. That is that. Adama Traore deal done to AC Milan. Actually, is this a deal done on the way? No, so they are on the way to. I think this big replace. I mean, Brahim Diaz just left the club. He just got back on loan to Real Madrid. So I think Adama Traore should be a good player. Him and Rafael Leao on those wings, bro. Like, I already tell it's gonna be a deadly attack. I think they're just gonna need a new striker because I think, honestly, I don't know because I don't watch a ton of AC Milan, so I don't know how does he really. But either way, I think like their striker would be good for them. But yeah, all I know is Adama Traore should fit well. Him and Rafael Leao sprinting down those counter attacks. Great deal. Yeah, we'll come back to that. So, breaking: Man United are closing on signing on the signing of 27-year-old Andre Onana. With David De Gea leaving Old Trafford, United are signing his replacement. Inter Milan are holding out for 6 negotiations ongoing, but very close. Personal to already agree on it, and you said this before in previous podcast episodes. David De Gea has officially left the club, and now Onana he fits Eric Ten Hag when they at Ajax together. So fits the system. They need someone who's good on the both like as a keeper and also someone who's on the ball since they kind of play through the back a lot of the time, and Onana he well. So 60 million, bit pricey, but as I said, we're gonna talk about prices eventually. Inflation. We'll talk about stay tuned. Yeah, again, more transfer news. But on top of that, João Felix as well. The Paris Saint Germain preparing a bid for Bernardo Silva. His value is at 80. Priority is not to stay at Manchester City. For João Felix, is clear he wants to join Paris Saint Germain. The chemistry with Silva, great replacement. I don't know how much João Felix, probably around 110, 100. I would say cost for Paris Saint Germain. But either way, we sell Mbappe, we get Bernardo Silva, we sell Mbappe 250 million. We get Bernardo Silva and João Felix. That's only 200 million. We have 50 replacements sparing. So and get like a Harry Kane or something. Maybe splurge a bit. Harry Kane is getting the other 50 million. Let's say Harry Kane is 90 million. It would only be 40 million for us because we're getting 50 million by selling Mbappe for 250 million. 120 million for João Felix, 80 million for Bernardo Silva. This is why, like, I'm not. This is why I'm definitely not against the. Like, I won't be mad at selling Mbappe. Offers a lot, but at the same time, Mbappe gets cash for living life because put that money and then separate it into segments. Other world class players are cheap, still world class, but world class like level, but cheap. World class for their position, for their age, also cheap. So that is my opinion there. We go on to Christian Pulisic. Becomes a new AC Milan player today. Official bid on Wednesday. Pulisic at around 9 a.m. A medical test around lunchtime, not lunchtime. Contract until 7. Signed in the afternoon. Documents signed with Chelsea here. Bro, great deal. So now that we talk about this, I think that team, as I said, is leaving. Also with the arrival of, as we just saw, Adama Traore, I think also gonna fit perfectly. How would this line up though? I think like Leao on left wing still, because I don't think Pulisic is the best player on the. Like maybe like in prime COVID days, but I think he's not gonna fit on. I would personally do Adama Traore on the right wing, and Rafael Leao on the left wing. Sprinters on the sides, get in behind, fast pace. Sometimes at the same time, they get in behind, cut inside, and then I think Pulisic, man, I think prime 2020, 2021 season, prime COVID day, like those days. Pulisic. Therefore, Chelsea. I think him at striker wouldn't be a bad option. I'm gonna be honest, I think striker. I think he's scored quite a bit of goals if he striker. He's underrated goal scoring there, and also he also has that chemistry. Was he there during his time? Like, was he there when he was with Olivier Giroud? Was I think take a look. Good for 19, 19. He went to Chelsea. Went on another 1 year loan to Dortmund. Then since 20 he was Chelsea. So prime COVID year. So 20. What? also so they played one or two together at Chelsea. So, yeah, I think that he brings that chemistry as well. They know it together. So, yeah, I think he's well. As I said, like I won't be surprised if he's a striker. I think he's a good player. He's a good goal scorer. So that is what, if they're kind of lacking in the attack this season. They haven't attacked Brahim Diaz and Rafael Leao. So I think the rivals of police Adama Traore should definitely be that squad, especially the departure of Brahim Diaz as well. I think good replacement. And Vlahovic is one of the options in Paris Saint-Germain list as revealed Sunday. Understand Paris Saint-Germain had contacts today to understand asking conditions. The PSG have 3 out of 4 options open to let him leave. 14 bid, no loan. Okay, pretty. So Harry Kane is a brick. Although in the start of the season, man, like against in the start of the season, merchants, bro. I even said, I even remember saying the Champions League draw in the Lahube. Oh, fan when said back then, but then after that, you take the rest of the season. So I think I'd rather take Harry Kane, but if he's then I'd take Vlahovic. I'd rather take Kane. I think my options here are Kane, Kolumani, and then Vlahovic. My opinion there. Chelsea have asked Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to training on the July as they did July 17th as they did Kaku 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 Kaku. Chelsea are still sell Aubameyang Saudi clubs, but the final advance it's not at final advanced stage yet. More to follow in the next. I mean, it's pretty sad for Aubameyang, man. I wish go to back to Barcelona. I think that Barcelona. Hell, we saw that last season perfectly under Xavi as well. Him, Dembele, and now with Lewandowski there as well. I think he's imagine like a 4-4-2. You have Aubameyang and imagine a 4-4-2. I mean, say that system, but imagine like a 4-4-3 Aubameyang left wing, Lewandowski striker, Dembele right wing, that midfield, the young, Pedri, Frankese, perfect. So yeah, Aubameyang, man, if he could like go back to Barcelona, play with like Lewandowski. Wait, actually, I don't know. Did play with? I don't know if he Lewandowski at Borussia Dortmund. The Borussia went 2010 to 20. Maybe because Aubameyang only went to Arsenal in 2013 to 1 season together. So yeah, I think he's gonna fit this. Yeah, pretty sad where he's gone now. Arsenal left the club, had to sell Chelsea, barely got any time, and now they want to sell him to Saudi clubs. Like I think he was much happier, he got much more time, had a better career if he Barcelona. I mean, they had to, man, they had to. Caicedo and Chelsea agreed personal to Chelsea and Brighton are no change yet. Yeah, 80 million. Chelsea, man, they saw this past season getting shit on. They got shit placement. I shouldn't be. My bad, my bad. I'll stop. They got really bad placement on. They played absolutely like terrible, bro. Absolutely horrendous play. Like them week out. But I mean, we did end up seeing that uh this, and now we're seeing that they're selling the whole club. They're going out. They want all the money back. Compensation, man. They want the compensation. So yeah, I think he's gonna fit the midfield. And now I think if this deal happens, we're gonna have to start yet again about look at the best midfield. Right now it's a battle between United. We have Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and Mount. We have Arsenal with Odegaard, Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and um Kai Havertz. You have Castle with Wellington, Mahrez, and Tonali. Have also Liverpool with could say Trent in the midfield, or let's say Henderson for now. Shabozalai, the Hungarian mid, RB Lip. Also McAllister. And now you're gonna have to take into fact Chelsea's mid. Caicedo could be Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and I don't know whoever the so man, Premier League man cooking in the have to do another, I guess, video talking about the look at each of these just talking about this. So that is that Caicedo over there. Lukaku we there come back. But here is some, as I said, like Mbappe and get money more as well. This we have to be looking out for. It is not Fabrizio Romano, so not 100% trusted, but still, like from what I'm seeing, Juventus are willing to sell Paul Pogba this summer for just 10 euros. He only managed to play 170 football last season. He's a great player. I think he offers that physicality presence, box to box, creative skills, passing. I don't know if he fits them like a Busquets type player. Say like you can kind of no, he's not close to Busquets, but if Luis wants to kind of reach Barcelona, only player I would compare Pogba to is Busquets. That physical presence and stuff, that height and stuff. So I think he offers that French presence as well for a French club. Our only starting player, a French player, is Mbappe. If he have no one else, so that French nationality represents the club. So players you have to look out for in the market, man. Even over here, Sadio Mane. Bayern Munich only want 20 million for Sadio Mane. Let's go after him, man. What are clubs doing? Yes, you're doing market perfect. I wouldn't say Mane wants to come, but it's a good deal. We sell Neymar, get Mane, bro. Sell Neymar 60 million, get Mane 20 million. We 40 million there. This is what we need to call transfer, like a good marketing, good club management. That's what have you see players at the same time. They also go for winning quality players, world class players. So Bayern, man, if you want to get a world class cheap player, go for or Barcelona, man, world class cheap player. Sell Ferran Torres, get Mane clear, bro. Mane clear for. It's just well, him and Lewandowski are a great duo up top. So let's see it happening. Casemiro on captaincy. I like to have this role to be a leader, to take care, to be a little daddy, to get after things. I like to set an example to first to arrive. The captain's band is nothing more than a symbol. So yeah, I mean Casemiro, man, he has that mentality. He's a leader in the mid. Probably the best CDM we'll see generation. Very close call to Busquets. Times Busquets, man, also great. Like I'd say they're equal. Maybe we have to have another discussion of go on this. Talking about just midfielders, the Prem midfield, the best midfielder. I'm Xavi, Iniesta. Maybe just a talk episode, and maybe like throughout the summer we'll have like episodes like top like best attackers of all time, and then best midfielders all time, best defender of all time, best keeper of all time, then best 11 of all time. I have like 4 separate episodes. Defenders, attackers, all combined. That'd be pretty. Position series. That'd be pretty sick. Hey, I'm gonna think that. Yeah, I think this week we also might have our first. I'm thinking first uh lab, like maybe get someone on the podcast and do go type thing. That bad either. Hope, as I said, I'm hoping that week next week sure. Gotta plan something, but yeah, I think um Casemiro a great player, great leadership, but I think Bruno Fernandes deserves that leadership. Still is sometimes a fraud, but I think Casemiro that captain's on. And you take a look at Madrid's mid Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz. Look at some of Arda Güler's performances at where was he before the Turkish club, and he was crazy for the Shootout or something. Brahim Diaz in past season, man, video of him crazy, bro. Bellingham, Cavani, Valverde are cooking for sure. Barcelona. I think we'll look at this another episode. It's only been 36 episodes, but I'm trying to make. I think the longer the episodes are, the more boring. Maybe we'll say another episode. We'll come back and talk about that. Thursday or Friday we'll do an episode. Oh, maybe because it's maybe we'll do another episode on Thursday. I don't want to make the episodes long because like sometimes that's long. So we'll save this and the Barcelona news for another episode Thursday. I want to talk. I want to talk about the money, how money has like inflation in football, in regards to the Saudi league. Then I also want to go and talk about the podcast during the summertime. Talk about new podcasts I will be doing summer, starting this. Let's get right into it. Talk about the final segment. Saudi League. Look at the signings. Al Hilal, Ruben Neves from Wolves, Serge Malik Savage from Lazio. Who's this guy? Musa, wherever he's from. Koulibaly, Halidou Koulibaly, or I like to say Daddy, reference. From Chelsea. Go to Al Ittihad with Golo Kante, Karim Benzema, the top G of football. Jota from Sporting, great player, great young player as well. Maybe young, so maybe I don't know why he's gone there, but I mean, great signing for Al Ittihad. Got Al Nasser with Ospina, Ajax or something club, not quite sure. Got Talita already at the club. Although of course, Marcelo Brozovic from Inter Milan. Go to Al Hilal with Roberto Edward Mendy, Al Fate, Fertello, Christian Tello. Go back, we take a look at Al Nasser or Al Ittihad who want to sign. Well, man, the Saudi league cooking. They're actually cooking. Top 5 league coming. They're coming for the top 5 placements, man. But honestly, it's ruined football. And this is where the talks about inflation and the why they're ruining the market. I was at first like it's pretty cool that all these big players going to the league, this next big. But at the same time, what we're seeing, inflation amounts of on the market, and the reason is Saudi league coming to waiting players buying. Let's say I don't know how much Serge Savage is in the market. Let's say 20 coming in on him 50 million. And maybe it's not like they here you go because we want to guarantee the signing. They're also saying it because clubs like Lazio, they say Milinkovic Savic is 20 million, but then in Lazio here Saudi club Al Hilal, they see these rumors, oh, we want to sign one of your players, they're gonna inflate their players automatically. Let's say Serge Milik, the Savage, is 20 million. Al Hilal, I buy Serge. Lazio are gonna raise their. They know Saudi have the oil money. They know how rich. Now Lazio are gonna want that money. Now with 50 million, now they sell the player. Lazio now have 50 million. They're gonna now go buy more player. They're gonna buy a player from another small club, and now that small club is gonna have money. And slowly by slowly, clubs are gonna be selling players, and slowly by slowly, they're gonna be selling these players, and each club is gonna have more money than other clubs, let's say, and now these lower clubs. Like the example here, that AC, especially with Tonali deal, man, they sold Tonali because they are in economic problems right now. I've heard something like that, and I saw it somewhere. I don't have the tweet. And they were in huge economic. Had to sell Tonali 80 euros, man. Their only option. And now what they're gonna go back on that bad, like they have to sell players for 80. And now, like let's say we start off over here. We start off to, I think it started with Mars transfer to Paris Saint Germain. How much was he? 40. Barcelona now have 200 hands back then. They went on. They said, "Oh, we have so much. We're willing to offer this club any amount of money." Go on. They signed the Guzman Dembele, 140 million right there. Cha-ching, 100 million right there. Cha-ching. They go sign for 100 million there. Another cha-ching, and there we go. It's gone. They suck as well. Go down. But what that did, got money. They said, "Oh, we're willing to offer as much money as you want. We're willing to offer the big players at the time this money." Ended up being bad. They lost so much. Those clubs, Borussia Dortmund and Atletico de Madrid, then got more money, and now Barcelona are in debt. So basically, what it is, it's money laundering. What they're doing, they give big money clubs who have big money like PSG, Man City, PSG, buy name offer. Barcelona now have 200 million bank. They go spend 200. They give 100 million one club for Ousmane Dembele, 100 million club for Griezmann. Now Borussia Dortmund have 100 million. That's a good have 100. And now Barcelona have 0 million. They have $0. What it does is they're spreading this money. The money going to some clubs. Like they buy a player. Let me take an example. AC Milan. They sell Tonali. AC Milan now have 80 million. They're gonna use that 80 million. They're gonna spend it on another player, and now the AC Milan are gonna go back to debt. Like they're gonna have more economical problems because they had so much money. They said, "Oh, let's go buy a big player." And what this does is, like they say, what this is doing is inflating the prices of players. With the players with clubs that have so much money, as I said, Atletico de Madrid wants to sell João Felix. They're gonna say, "Oh, PSG are interested in Felix." They're owned by a Saudi club. Saudi have a lot of oil money. Let's set our price high at 200 million. On the market, he's 150. But we want 200. Oh, that PSG have more money. PSG accept that 200 million offer because PSG has the Saudi money. Atletico de Madrid now have 200. And now all the other clubs say, "Oh, Atletico de Madrid, oh, you're interested in our players, have the money, our players." And what this is inflating players' prices because clubs now know that other clubs like PSG and Man City have this big money and want to inflate their players to get more money. inflating the market year in, year out. Like it's just inflating it, and that's what's bad. I think, as I said, it's cool, but at the same time, it's ruining football because it's inflating the market. It's ruining the transfer market. So that was my opinion there. A rant over it. But that's gonna end off the episode, guys. Before we end and fully, um, I haven't gone to the podcast in a while. This is back in during Champions League days. I had these notes, but I want to kind of go over the summer plans of the podcast plans. I want to go over plans. So what we're gonna be in video analysis, history analysis, and what this is talk about, like when you go on attack best attackers of all time, um, best attack of all time, best mids, best ends, best defenders of all time. So like separate videos, and then maybe at the end of it, we're gonna have like best all time. Let's say, fine. Like, oh, let's say we make a top 10 list of best attackers, top 10 mids of best, or top 10 of best mid, top 10 of best defense, top 10 for best all time combined. And this is gonna keep in fact of how these players can play with well. Like maybe I'll say like, oh, Pele is better than Messi, but Pele, I'm not gonna put Pele in the best combined 11 because he's not gonna. Because Pele played differently than how Messi played. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to take that into fact as well. But I want to do like a analysis, best of players of all time, insert best attackers of all time. So we're gonna have IRL football content, maybe like a cross or a challenge, and shout. Friends or my cousin or shout. 5 versus 5, 3v3 type thing. Normal, so kind of practice that. And lastly, I'm thinking, actually one more after this, knowledge. So that could be tic tac, footy, yes, type thing. And this one is gonna yes, featuring new guests. That's I want to incorporate that and then I want to do like a content. Not FIFA bad, but past and present. We do past and present, past and PSG draft, like a road to glory season. Teams like maybe in C and C play solos. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 10 is the lowest, the highest. Every time we get up a division, that'd be pretty. The upgrade. But let's say we get relegated, we have to. Or let's say we do not win the championship, we have to stay with the same. Or if we get relegated, we have to play with the first team. That could be pretty. For instance, I wanted to do one more. What? That's in. Like I don't know. This one here is gonna be like the podcast we had today, last podcast, kind of going over transfer route, my opinion. So yeah, so these are my thoughts for the football summer starting this like maybe like as I said, I think next episode Thursday I want to talk about Barcelona. They had like some Xavi and Laporte had like a conversation. So I want to kind of that and give that Ballon d'Or. Apparently, there's Ballon d'Or list. So I want to kind of go over that, give my that. So I think next episode will be Thursday, a shorter episode on Thursday. And then maybe next week I might be IRL football content. Well, in real, I'll for the IRL video. I don't know. Maybe I'll show myself doing outside the box. With if I'm with my friends out a 1v1s like over the hill 1v. Let's say like that, and then also like yeah. So I think this Thursday we're gonna have another transfer news analysis and podcast, and then next week have an IRL podcast as well as a football knowledge podcast, and then also like the week after like a also want to put this position history analysis as well. So yeah, a lot of new content podcast during this time. But yeah, let's just end it off quickly with the footy plateau. Why not? Oh, they have. Yeah, let's just do openly. Website. Okay, okay, pretty good off. Borussia Dortmund, that's a good name. Axel Witzel, right there. Barcelona, Ballet, and Dortmund will come back there. Atletico, Liverpool. We're gonna with what's his name? Torres, Nando Torres. What? Man, and fill that spot in as well, I guess. Yes, switched. Um, Barcelona, Liverpool. Okay, let's go. Let's do the ones we know quickly. I he fits here as well. Bro, I guess it fits in all the slots. Like if you one player. Yeah, I was when I got to this slot, maybe I would have thought of that as well. Frankie De Jong as well. Um, AC Milan, Netherlands will go with Liverpool, Barcelona. Mascherano, Argentine. Then and Dortmund. We looked at his career. Played with I was looking to see if he played with Lewandowski, and I saw he played with also played at I saw he also played. That's why I knew. I guess you can do like oh if you know multiple. So like I don't know. We keep on going. Frank Long over there. I don't know other important like if I didn't know that if I didn't know Fernando Torres played for Man and Liverpool, what would I guess here? What's his name? Rigi. I would have. Yes. Technically, I did not get help out myself. There, I think this is the first time we finished the full put it tic tac toe, but yeah, I guess that was a bit of fun. But yeah, that's gonna go off the end of the podcast. I will be posting like the FIFA podcast. Like I will be posting on YouTube. I'm type thing type thing. But but yeah, for now, next episode we'll do on Thursday or Friday, talking about Barcelona Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or. But yeah, for now, stay positive, stay happy, stay flow, and